Hello friends, Cheyenne here from Iblis Manifestations and of course the band Trivex, coming to you here from Oslo, Norway, as we have just pretty much wrapped up Inferno Metal Festival. I'm sure that as many of you have seen, I was humbly honored to have been invited to partake on one of the panels on Thursday. The panel was called Podcast Kill the Radio Star. And we had a real blast alongside some friends. And we got to have some very good discussions and conversations. And hopefully this will then extend the conversation outside of just the panel that we had. You know, we got to talk about a lot of how podcasts are currently affecting classical forms of media. But of course, as I'm sure all of you are aware, with my particular background, we also got to talk a bit about censorship and free speech, which I'm sure you all already know by this point are things that I'm extremely passionate about. Okay? And on top of this, we've had the opportunity to see some great bands at this festival. And I really must say that out of a lot of the different festivals that I have attended, in UK or in other parts of the world, this was definitely a highlight, whether it was the organization, whether it was the general vibe, the bands that were playing. I very much rate Inferno at a top place. You know, it's not many places that you go to a nice hotel and then the next minute you are stood next to basically your teenagehood heroes, you know, and then you've got Bathory playing in the elevators and stuff like that. So those of you who've never attended this festival, do yourselves a favor and look into what's going to be happening next year, because it really is a special air and environment here that you don't really get in many places. Okay, and we got to see some great performances from Keep of Kalesin, Ultimas, the girls in Crypta did a really fantastic job. And Dimmu Borgir, I would probably say, was the highlight. You know, we were not expecting seeing Vortex and Mustis and Chudolf on stage with them. I interviewed Silanos, and he did a very good job of keeping that quiet, since we did the interview prior to the show. And it was one of them things. I think you had to be there to feel the atmosphere, and the production was also really impressive. All of this to say that we've had a great time at this festival. The hospitality, the treatment, everything has just been fantastic and really top notch. And on top of it, it has been, I really need to mention how great it has been to meet some of you at this festival. Great to have been approached by some of you who followed the podcast or followed Trivex. And it's always fantastic. It's something I always have time for, and very happy to have had those conversations with those of you who I bumped into. Okay, and to kind of finish this off, in the coming weeks there will be a good number of interviews and additional podcast episodes. These are going to be mini episodes that are going to be coming your way, and we recorded all of these during the festival. And you get to see different quirks, I guess, compared to the usual podcast that we do, since these were all in person. And that's a first for Iblis Manifestations as far as that is concerned. It certainly won't be the last. Ideally, that's how I would like to record most of the conversations on the podcast, but this is a step in the right direction, you know. So for festivals like this that are willing to take the chance on smaller channels like ourselves, who have a cult following, and of course allows for me to interview a lot of artists as well as friends in person. Okay, so keep an eye out for the coming weeks, and once again, I just wanted to say a big, massive thank you to the organizers at Inferno Festival for a very, very memorable experience, and also a belated birthday shout out to my friend Jackie Smith of Into the Necrosphere. Him and I got to spend a lot of time together this weekend, a lot of conversations. And we even got to pump some iron and lift some weights together alongside Trivex's booking agent Tito. Unfortunately, we did not document those to perfection. However, I can tell you that it's good when you've got that degree of camaraderie, and and you've got people around you who push you to be the best version of yourself. So yeah, just a quick little advice to try and get in on that if you guys can. Anyhow, hope you guys have a good time, and yeah, keep an eye out for the upcoming interviews, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye bye.